Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be trying out a UCANBE eyeshadow palette. I'm going to have quite a few videos coming up of UCANBE eyeshadow palettes because they very kindly sent me like a bunch of them along with some of their other new releases. So you're probably going to be seeing quite a lot of UCANBE kind of testing out videos, which I hope that you're as excited about that as I am. I don't think I need to really go into how, well, I probably do actually. I think it's important to say I am so grateful that UCANBE have kind of, reached out to me and that they're sending me makeup. I mean, how fantastic is that? Like, I really, really appreciate it. But as always, that won't jeopardize my honesty. I think that you guys know that by now. Also, I do have a giveaway going on currently. It's a YouTube and an Instagram giveaway of some UCANBE products. So if you're interested to win any of those, I do have a video with all of the details on, and I also have the details over on my Instagram page as well. So yeah, get yourself entered into that. It's an international, I almost said it's an international delivery. Well, it will be if you're international. I want you to go for it. So anyway, so the palette, oh, where is it? Okay, so the palette that we're going to be dibble-dabbling in today is the Rhythm palette. I absolutely love the packaging. It kind of reminds me of like a Zoeva palette. It just feels kind of expensive, which I really like, of course. Like, I like expensive, well, I like things that feel expensive, but I don't have the money to buy expensive things. But anyway, guys, but as you can see, this is a very kind of cool tone palette, which I really, really appreciate. I actually prefer cooler tones to warmer tones. I just feel like they kind of complement me more, and they tend to complement the other colours that I like to put on the rest of my face, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really, really appreciate that. I think the palette looks really kind of special. It's got a mix of shimmers, it's got mattes. I can't not say this. It reminds me so much of the Prism palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It just looks very, very similar. But I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's not like they're trying to be ABH, but they've just obviously taken some inspiration. Also, interestingly, the Prism palette by ABH is the one that I most I'm interested in buying, but it's almost £50 now here in the UK, and for me, I cannot justify that to myself. I just can't. This palette costs £3.77. It's not actually been released yet, but you can pre-order it. Sorry, I'm just reading from my phone. You can pre-order this on AliExpress for £3.87. I think the full price is going to be £6.78. But yeah, the pre-order price is £3.87. Also, just to mention, this palette is cruelty free, as are, I think, all of UCANBE's makeup products. I recommend that if you are going to be buying anything from UCANBE, definitely kind of purchase through the UCANBE official store on AliExpress, just because you know that you're actually buying exactly what you want, and they have all the new releases as well. So I would definitely recommend that should be the place to go to. I'm going to start off with swatches, and then we're going to move straight onto some kind of sassy eye look. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Literally, this black is the most blackest black that I've ever seen. It's so black. Right, I'm just going to swatch that one here. Oh my gosh, guys, get a load of that. Okay, next. Ah! Oh, honey, that freaked me out, honey. Oh, honey, he keeps doing this. He keeps doing it. He keeps coming with the mask when I'm least expecting it. Ah. Okay, so next we're going to swatch this beautiful kind of yellowy shade. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look great, guys. I'm going back in again just to see. Oh, all of a sudden, it's there. It's kind of like a neon greeny yellow. I'm liking the little... I know that swatches can't be trusted a lot of the time, but yeah, I just feel like that's maybe a little bit lacking. Okay, so here we have all of the swatches. As you can see, it's very, very cool toned. You've got an even mix of shimmers and mattes. I feel like the shimmers look really promising, but the mattes, with the exception of the black one, were, I don't know, they just swatched a little bit lackluster. Okay, so I have prepared my eyes using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and to begin I'm going to start with this shade. It's like a very light, it's kind of like almost like, I don't know, it's either a peach or it's a tan, I don't know, it's just very light indeed. So we're going to begin with this one. I'm going to just tap off the excess. It's going to be popping this into my crease. Okay, I'm going to go back in again. Okay, so like you can definitely see it there. It's not doing a whole lot. It is a very light shade indeed, but it's blending nicely. However, I am just going to leave that shade now because I do feel like it's a bit too light for what I want. So next I'm going to go in with this peachy shade. I'm trying to try like as many of the shadows as possible. So I'm going to bang my, well, I'm not banging my brush into it. I'm just, anyway, like I'm being non-violent with my brush is what's happening. Right, so I'm just going to pop this into my crease. Okay, so I think that one is actually really, really pretty. You can definitely see it there, blended nicely, and I actually think having that kind of lighter shade underneath is kind of nice. Okay, so next I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to go in with this beautiful, it's kind of like a taupey shade. This is like my, well, it's not really taupe. Yeah, it is taupe. I love a good taupe. Pop that into my crease. Okay, so I like that shade. I think ordinarily, like, I wouldn't have picked, you know, the peachy shade to have like began with, because I don't necessarily think that it's the right fit for this taupe shade. But you know what? It's actually looking really, really nice. The eyeshadows so far have blended out beautifully, and they've actually been a bit more pigmented than I was expecting from the lackluster swatches. I added a little bit more taupe. And today I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to do my other eye, because a lot of the time, like, I'll just do one eye, and then by the time I get to doing the other eye, I will have completely have forgotten like which shadows I use. So I'm going to just like do the other eye as well, just in case you wonder why in a minute the other eye is majestically done, even though I'm sure you probably would guess. I'm sure you won't be sat there thinking, oh my gosh, what wizardry is this? Like, what is Anwen doing now? Is she Hermione? Like, what's going on right now? Okay, so I went ahead and I kind of did the other eye, just followed, of course, like, again, something that you probably know, followed the same steps as I did on this eye. And just like a midway update, I think the shadows are beautiful. The actual, like, blended out shade is definitely true to colour that you see within, you know, the pans. I would say that these eyeshadows so far remind me of Makeup Revolution eyeshadows. They're not hugely pigmented, but they're not like lacking in pigment. They're just very easy to work with. I think if you're a beginner in makeup, then this, you know, kind of formula will be a really, really kind of user-friendly one to work with. So next we're just going to like build up the whole crease a little bit, and I'm going to get this like dome-shaped round, I don't know, dome-shaped brush, like, okay, and I'm going to go into this beautiful chocolate shade. It's kind of like a warm tone chocolate. I mean, I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't refer to things as warm toned and cool toned, but now I'm just like all about the warm tones and cool tones. I mean, I didn't even used to know there were different kinds of tones, but yeah, anyway. Okay, so I'm really liking this. I'm just kind of patting the shadow on to begin with, and then I'm going to blend. This is a really good way, like, to work with eyeshadows that maybe aren't so pigmented, the tap and the blend technique. It just kind of helps you get the most pigment from the eyeshadow, and also it's a good way to get the shadow like exactly where you want it to be. I really like this chocolate shade. It's beautiful. And I think it's working really nicely, you know, with the other colours that I've got going on. This is like my favourite shadow so far. Okay, so there we go. I know it's looking a little bit messy. I find that my eyeshadow always gets like really messy here, but as soon as I go in with my foundation, I kind of use, you know, my foundation to kind of cut the eyeshadow, if that makes sense. Some people use like a tape as like, you know, a little bit like a guideline, or it just like helps them stay where they want to stay. It's like a boundary wall for the eyeshadow. Well, I just do it with my foundation, because if you go in with your sponge, you know, just like this, it kind of gives you a nice kind of cut off. Right, I'm going to go in with more chocolate. Chocolate. Again, I'm just tapping just to build it up, and then I'm blending. Tap and blend. Okay, so underneath the eye, I am going to kind of, in a way, like replicate what I've already done, but not really, because I'm not really using most of the shades. But I'm going to go in with the taupey shade and the chocolate shade. Am I? But am I though? I'm just reconsidering actually. Do you know what? I don't think I will. I'm going to leave the under eye for now, because I'm thinking maybe like, you know, like the navy blue might be actually really like stunning on the under eye, just for a little bit of a, you know, throw everyone off kind of moment. Okay, so we've come to the time where we are going to apply a shimmer. The shimmer that I'm most interested in is this one here. It's like a beautiful silver / lavender. So I mean, I know it's probably not going to go with like the chocolate brown, but I don't care. Like, I'm just going to go for it anyway, because, oh, should I go for this one, the green one? Do you know what? I'm going to start off with the silver, and then if I don't like it, I'm going to go in with the green. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to just go in with my finger. My fingers always look so wrinkly. Like, whenever I'm editing, I'm always like, holy vaginas, Amwin. Like, have you just had your hand dipped in some water or something? Like, I don't know why they're so wrinkly. Like, I'm not really liking this shadow with the chocolate brown crease. Like, I don't think it's really working. So, do you know what I'm going to do? Like, I'm going to do a cut crease. And then we're going to go in with like maybe the green. I think the shadow is rather beautiful, but I just don't think that it's kind of complementing, you know, the chocolate brown. Okay, so I've done a little bit of a cut crease, and I am going to use the same. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be skanky like that. I'm going to use a different brush, and I'm going to go in with, oh my gosh. Oh, there's so much choice, and I just don't know. Like, I really want to go in with the green, but again, is that going to actually complement the look? Oh, do you know what? I might go in with this rose gold. I feel like this kind of rosy gold shade would best suit the look. So I'm just popping. Oh my gosh, guys, it's beautiful. It's actually like, it's like a copper shade, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm just kind of plopping that on. It's not like the most pigmented kind of shimmer or the most like metallic, but I'm liking it. I've just sprayed a little bit of Fix Plus on my desk, so I'm going to go back in with a Fix Plus brush. And I'm just going to like pop this in the center. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, it looks so nice. The Fix Plus has definitely like helped it along quite a bit. Okay, so I've just popped that in the center. I'm going to go in with a bit of this beautiful kind of gold shade. It's just so that we can kind of try out, you know, as many different shadows in the palette as we can. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. I must say that the eyeshadows are looking quite chunky. Can you see, like on my eyelid, they look great like this, but then, you know, you can definitely see they are highlighting the texture quite a lot, which is a bit disappointing. Okay, so I'm going to get a flat brush and I'm going to just go in with the chocolate brown and I'm just going to like pop it on the outer bit. Can you see that? Or should I not? Yeah. So today we've got a gold, copper and chocolate brown smoky eye. It wasn't really what I was like really going for, but I like it. I mean, I'm liking it. It's very autumnal. So under the eye, we're going to go in with the navy blue as planned, just because I just really like that eyeshadow and I like the idea of it being under the eye. Oh my gosh, I mean, that's really, really pretty. It's actually quite purple. You know, like when you look at it, it comes off quite purple. I am going to go in with, you guessed it, the fecking chocolate brown, which I adore. And I'm actually going to just smoke out a little bit of this just alongside that bluey purple shade. So there we go. Ta-ta-ta. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just replicate everything on the other side and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. Okay, so I finished the look. It's taken a while, but I got here. So this is the final look. I hope that you can see it. I feel like you can't behind my huge false eyelashes that you've probably noticed. So I'm just going to say it. Don't match. I didn't realise until I applied this one that they're not the same, but I'm just hoping that I can go with the whole they're not sisters, they're not even distant relatives, they're just there. Okay, so please don't hate me for that. But yeah, so this is the final look. I'm so sorry that, like, why do I insist on putting false lashes on after I've done an eyeshadow look, covering up all of my hard work? But anyway, guys, do you know what? I'm going to take the falsies off because they don't match, do they? Take them off. Okay, that was a massive fail. Oh, now you can see the... Oh, get them back on again. Get them the effect back on again. Oh my gosh, like, because, look, guys, I'll just pop them on. Because now everything just looks fecked because... Anyway, guys, is that okay? Do you think I'm going to get away with it? Right, guys, let's pretend that never happened. I actually really, really like the eyeshadow palette. I obviously would not recommend this if you're a fan of like warm toned eyeshadows. I'm super self-conscious that the eyelashes are going to fall off. But anyway, guys, yeah, if you're a fan of cool toned eyeshadows, I think you would really, really like the palette. I think that the mattes blended out beautifully. They weren't super pigmented, but they were nicely pigmented, as I said earlier. Very user-friendly, just easy to use. So I'm a fan of the mattes. The shimmers that I used, I liked, but I do feel like they did really kind of highlight texture on my eyelids. If you don't have a lot of texture on your eyelids, of course that won't be a problem to you, but just something to keep in mind. I think that the kind of variety of shades within the palette is brilliant. I feel like you could pick up this palette every single day for a week and get a completely different look each time. There's a lot of options. I feel like you could use this palette as like a neutral everyday palette, or you could use it to go out to a rave, you know what I mean? So I do feel like it's very versatile. I think that if you do want to buy this, I would definitely recommend you jump on it like straight away whilst they've got the pre-order price out, because it's basically half price. So I think for like £3.77 or even for the full price of £6 something, I think that it's a good palette and I think that you would get a lot of enjoyment from it. I've really enjoyed using it today. I really like my eye look. I'm just really regretting ever putting false lashes on, like massively regretting that. But as we saw, I can't take them off because then you just see all the glue. Heck my life right now, literally, guys. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have entered the giveaway, good luck. I really hope that you win. And I will see you again in the next video. As I said, I do have loads of other eyeshadow palettes from UCANBE. So I hope that you enjoy these kinds of videos. If you could let me know in the comments that would be great. I really appreciate any kind of feedback that you can give. So anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.